Hi folks, welcome back to the shop here at Project Pine Hills. Today we're talking about this Icon 1/4 inch drive compact socket and bit set. You can see it's both SAE and Metric. It has 52 pieces in the set. It has a lifetime guarantee. Here's a quick look at the back and everything it comes with so you can pause the video and check that out. And you'll see the part number is 70695 and they're made in Taiwan. All right, let's take a look at this set. Now you can see it comes in this nice case. Now this is supposed to be an update to the original Icon set, according to Harbor Freight. And they first announced this at SEMA in 2023. Now the question is this the new viral or meme tool? Well, we'll talk about that. You can see it has this nice black rubber overmold on the case. The red part is more of a hard plastic. You can see it has this latch in the front. It's spring loaded. So if we push this to the right, it'll unlatch and open up. If we push it down, it'll just automatically spring back shut. If we look here at the back of the case, you can see it has a nice hinge in the back with a metal pin that runs through it. So let's take a look on the inside here. What they have is SAE sockets here. We have metric sockets here on the bottom. We have a mini ratchet, a driver here, several of these small bits that are 1 inch long, 1/4 inch hex bits. We have a 2 inch extension, a 4 inch extension, a universal joint, and an extension for the hex. So we'll talk about that. But if we open both of these up, you can see how the two compare here. In this new set, we'll just look at it here real quick. You can see the new set is much larger in terms of its case size. There they are on top of each other. You can see here in terms of the thickness. We'll put them here side by side. You can see that this new case is quite a bit thicker, so quite a bit larger. Now the key question is, what kind of ratchet does it come with? That's what I was wondering about. Back when they announced this at SEMA 2023, I did a video about this DeWalt socket set because the basic concept of this is nothing new, right? You can see this DeWalt set is just a 1/4 inch set that has bits in it, has a driver for your bits, metric and standard sockets. I'll have a link to this in the description. You can check it out, but it comes in a nice case as well. We'll look at that in a little bit. But the biggest difference is the ratchet this guy comes with. If you look at it, it's a nice small ratchet, but the anvil is in the head of the ratchet. If you look at the original set, we take the ratchet out of this. The original one had this flex head mini ratchet that had an opening in the head for hex bits to go through to accommodate hex bits. So you could put hex bits in here, or you could take them out. It also comes with an anvil here that you can put in. Gives you that 1/4 inch drive, and you can see how these two ratchets are very similar once you put in that 1/4 inch hex drive. With that drive in there, we could take sockets, like I'll take a socket out of this new set, put it in there, and you can drive these sockets. That's the idea behind this original set. And this original set was very popular when it came out. It was hard to get. Oftentimes it was sold out. But one of the drawbacks was if you pull the socket out, what's it do? It takes the anvil with it. So that's one of the things I like better about this new set. With the anvil on it, of course, you don't have that problem. So if you're trying different socket sizes and you're constantly going between sockets, you find that you pull the anvil out, it really can be kind of annoying. So that's one of the things that I like better about this new set. But if you look at these ratchets, you can see they are identical. They have the exact same push button, the exact same yoke here for the flex head. The switches are a little bit different. You can see they've changed that up a little bit on the new one, but even the head itself is very much similar. Now, one difference is the new ratchet is 72 teeth and the original was 60 teeth. So there's 12 more teeth in that new ratchet. And this new ratchet feels very smooth. Now they both have a locking flex head, so you just press this button and you can push the ratchet head forward 90 degrees or all the way back, and you can position it anywhere in there. It'll lock into place, any position in between those. But if we look at them both here side by side, you can see, man, they are pretty much identical to each other. So I was glad to see it had a nice small ratchet in it. And if we compare this ratchet, like this DeWalt set here we were looking at, you can see here that it's much smaller than your standard 1/4 inch ratchet. I can put the heads of the ratchets here back to back. Maybe that shows, it's kind of hard to show, but it is a fair bit smaller than this DeWalt ratchet. And of course the DeWalt doesn't have the flex head. Here's a quick comparison to the Roto head ratchet. You can see there, they're both about the same size. If we put them back to back, you can see the space savings there with the Icon ratchet versus the Titan ratchet. Both really nice solid ratchets. So I was happy to see it come with a nice ratchet. And how is this supposed to work like the original? To me, it wasn't really a replacement when I first saw it at SEMA. Well, they have this adapter in there that comes with most of these style ratchet sets. The DeWalt has the same thing. Got a 1/4 inch square anvil in there. It adapts to your ratchet. And then on this side, we have a hex adapter, right? So I can grab any one of these hex bits over here, pull them out, put them in the ratchet, and that's how they're supposed to work. As you can see, it's a lot deeper than the original. Right? If I put these side by side, you can see that the original is going to fit in a lot tighter spaces than this new ratchet's going to fit in. That's one big advantage of this original ratchet. And another benefit to this original mini ratchet from Icon is that you could take any hex shaft and put it in here and it would operate just like it does with these Klein flip sockets. Now, if we look at the case here, you can see it opens and these bits are all pointed up here at the top. How does that work? It's got a mechanism here that is spring loaded. You can see the bits fold down or they stand up. And if you shut this case, you'll see the bit holder is going to strike right here, this piece of plastic on the case. And what it does, it turns those bits sideways. You can see it's starting to do it there. Lays them down flat so you can shut the case. These bits are designed to lay down flat when it's shut, and they stand up as soon as you open it up. It does have a small spring over here, and even if that spring failed, I think it would still work, because when you shut it, it would still push those bits down, even if they aren't spring loaded. They might not stand up when you pick it up. So along with the ratchet, you get a 2-inch extension here for all of your sockets, a nice 2-inch extension with nice knurling on it. I really do like the ratchet and the extensions. I mean, I think they're really nice. This is the 4-inch extension. Again, nice knurling right here on this extension. You get your sockets here. This is 10 millimeter. Feels really good, feels really solid. I like it for that. Now this original set didn't have a handle in it, but the idea was that you take the ratchet out, you grab the extension, and you can see it has this white dot right here, where you line that white dot up with the dots on the extension. There's these small black dots right here. You can see there's a little cutaway right here at the top. We just match that up with the white dot on the ratchet, put them through, and you can see it slips right through and gives you a T-handle. And now we can take these bits in here and we can turn this as a T-handle. So that acted as a handle as well. We didn't need a dedicated handle in here like the new set has with this icon handle. So that's how this guy worked. Or I could pull it out, turn this extension a little bit, and now it becomes just a regular ratchet extension. Right, and I could put an anvil in there, and now I could turn sockets. So any one of these sockets I could put on here and turn them. That's the way the original mini ratchet was designed to work. If we look at the new mini ratchet they have in here, it can also take bits in the handle. And if you want to get it to operate like a T-handle, you could take this 2-inch extension, put that on there, and you can operate this guy as a T-handle as well. So if you're wondering if this new one can operate sort of as a T-handle, you can kind of get that feature out of this. And of course they have the extension here that you can put on and get a lot more reach out of this, right, with that T-handle. So you can operate it in a similar way as you could that original. Now let's look at this handle real quick. You can see this icon handle here. It's got a nice soft rubber overmold here, and the red parts are sort of a hard plastic. You can see there's not a lot of extension here, so it's a small, compact handle. If we compare it to the DeWalt, you can see it's very small and compact. There's a DeWalt handle next to it. And of course the DeWalt has a lot more extension out here on the shaft, and that's because they wanted this handle to be compact so it would fit into this case. But that's how they made this set really compact. Now I like this new set. I didn't think I was gonna like it. And the selling point for me was this ratchet. It's just a nice small ratchet, very similar to the original. What I was concerned about is it didn't come with this ratchet that has this sort of pass-through head that makes it so versatile. It does come with the same extension this guy has here. You know, it's the exact same extension if you put it there in terms of length. And of course you can put this in the handle to get handle extension, just like you could in the original ratchet, but you can't push it through that head to get that T-handle. But what you could do is you could take the original ratchet, take the anvil from that set, and if you put that in this set here, now you have something closer to what I thought Harbor Freight was actually going to come out with. And that was an update to this original kit. This way you get all the benefits of this mini ratchet, but you can also drive all these sockets. You've got your SAE and Metric sockets with you, and to me this is a very versatile kit. So if you want to have this style of ratchet in here, it'll fit in here fine. You know, as long as you have the anvil on it, it'll go down in there. You can close this kit up and you've got what you want. You have sort of the best of both worlds there. But I still think Harbor Freight should have just updated this set and just added standard and metric sockets. They would have had the perfect set. I think it would have been the best way to go. That's what they should have offered. Instead, they came out with a set that's closer to a standard 1/4-inch set like you see here with this DeWalt. You know, so this is what I really expected them to do. Now these are Makita sockets. I'll have a link to these in the description. They work really well with this original Harbor Freight set. We've talked about that on the channel here a lot. One of the things I like about these Makita sockets is they're marked above the fold, so I don't have to take them out of the case to see what sizes they are, right? I can tell this is 11 millimeter, 3/8. I can see all that in the etching that they have on these sockets, and I think Makita intentionally put that etching above the fold to make it easier to tell which one's standard, which one's metric, even though they're color coded, and also make sure you get the right size. Another great thing about this icon set that I like is there's no skips. All these size sockets go up and there's no skips. Same with the metric down here at the bottom. I do think they should have color coded it. You can't at a glance tell that this is SAE and this is metric. It'd be nice if they had those two areas color coded, but they're not. They have this black foam here behind the sockets, and you can see that on both sides. And I think that's to help retain the sockets in there. You'll see with this set that one of the things I like about it is everything retains in here pretty well. The screwdriver handle will fall out, but everything else will pretty much stay in. So it's not like you're going to tip this over and have everything fall out of it other than the screwdriver handle. So I really like the fact everything stays in there. And if we take out a socket, like I'll take one of these out, you can see it's got stamped in there 14, right? So that's where the sizes are marked in terms of the sockets at the very bottom there. It makes it easy for you to be able to tell what's missing. What I don't like is when you look at these sockets, the laser etching, to me, it's upside down from the way I look at it anyway. and it's very small, and it's below the fold. So for example, when I go to put this socket in here, when I drop it in here, the actual markings on that socket are below the fold of the holder. I can't see them. Same way when I look back here, it's kind of hard to show. I'll take this handle out. Same way when I look back here, all these sockets, they're marked, but you can't read the markings because it's below the fold, meaning it's down here below the plastic. It would have been nice if they were somehow marked so you could read all of these sockets above. It's kind of the same with these bits in the back as well. If we look at those, you'll notice on these that the markings are also hard to see. Like on the ones here at the top, you can't really see the markings. They're all below the fold here where they're held. Same here at the bottom. All the markings pretty much, I mean, you can see the Torx ones here, right? 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, you can kind of see those. But a lot of the markings, like these guys right down here, these hex ones, this is your SAE or standard hex here, and this is the metric ones. So they've got these 5 metric bits down here, but you can't see the markings on those. Now, if you compare that to the original, that's one of the things I liked about this original. This original case was really well thought out. If you look here, notice how I can read all these bits above the fold. I mean, I can easily see that this is a T20, T15. Even here on the front, you can see the markings are really above the folds. It's another thing I liked better about this original set. The way all the bits were stood on end, like they are in the case, right? They're really easy to pull out. They're always pointed up, and you can read them really easily. So, I just like that case. So like I said, I think it would have been wise if Harbor Freight just added 1/4 inch sockets to this case and not added anything else to it. No screwdriver handles, no other extensions. You just get this one extension on there. I think you'd have the perfect socket set. This one here really is geared towards more of a standard socket set. Another thing is this original set has a total of 32 of these hex bits in here, right? The new set only has 24, so there's quite a few less bits in here, right? There's 8 less bits, so quite a few less sizes in here. Now, if we take the markings of this Icon socket and we compare them with the markings of this DeWalt socket, here's the DeWalt socket and the Icon socket. You can see the DeWalt has a much larger size 14 etched into it, and the Icon to me is sort of upside down. We'll flip it around, you can see there's that 14 on there. So to me, this Icon socket is a lot harder to read than this DeWalt. So is this the next meme or viral tool? Maybe it's too soon to tell, but I don't think so. I think if Harbor Freight had taken this set and just added sockets to it, 1/4 inch, metric, and hex, I think they would have had a viral tool and made it super compact. I do like how this one is compact overall. I mean, it is a compact socket set. I really do like the ratchet in here. There's lots of things I like about this. I like the case. I like the fact the ratchet has 72 teeth. I like how they put foam in here and the sockets just don't fall out. I mean, this is a nice setup. That's for sure. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, the price is a little bit high. This is getting the territory where you're competing with a ToolCheck Plus in terms of price, but the ToolCheck Plus, it doesn't come with both standard and metric sockets, right? This one gives you both. With ToolCheck Plus, you kind of have to pick one of these 2 socket types, SE or metric, and that's what you get. In this set, you get both. So I do think it's a great set to have. Really nice idea, nice concept. I really like the ratchet in here, as a matter of fact, but I do like the original set better. And like I said, I think that's the way that they should have went with this and made sure the sockets were in here and that you could definitely tell the sizes and you could read them above the fold. That I think would have been a big improvement on this original set. So I think a lot of folks were surprised. I noticed this even at SEMA, that this was a standard ratchet. That's why I made the video about this DeWalt, because people could have that right now. I mean, if you compare these two, I mean, look at this compared to the DeWalt. Pretty much getting the same thing. You don't get the flex head ratchet. The DeWalt does have a 3-inch and 6-inch extension with knurling. It's got a nice rubberized handle here in it. Great sockets. You'll see it has that same adapter for the bits. Works the exact same way, right? We put that adapter on there. This style adapter has been around for a long time. You could buy it for any 1/4 inch ratchet. So there you have it, folks. That's the Icon 1/4 inch compact socket and bit set. Let me know in the comments what you think of this. Do you think this is the next viral tool? And do you think it's really an update to this original? I'd be interested to know what your thoughts are. And please remember to like and subscribe. All those actions help me to continue to bring content to you here on the Project Pine Hills channel. And with that said, I'll catch you in the next video.